Ms. Dukes, as you know, my name is Kevin Ludlow, and I am currently running against you for the Texas House of Representatives in District 46. I published a video last week challenging you to a debate and cited our differences on the war on drugs, namely how I believe that you support the war on drugs and I do not. I posted the video to various social networks, and I also sent you an email with the request. I've not yet heard back, and so 1 week later I wanted to ask you if once again you'd be willing to debate me. I also thought it'd be interesting to examine another difference between us. Now, this position I'm about to illustrate is not a mere response from a decade-old survey, but rather a vote that you cast while in office just 3 years ago. I'm referring to HB 359, which allows schools to use corporal punishment on students unless their parents opt out in writing. You voted yes to the amendments on May 25, 2011, and it was signed by Rick Perry on June 17, 2011. So basically, educators can use physical force against students unless their parents chime in and say otherwise. Now, the fact that this bill would exist in Texas is not entirely surprising, and the fact that some people in Texas might support the bill is also not entirely surprising. But what is entirely surprising is that a Democrat representing the Austin metro area who primarily focuses on education and child endangerment laws would support this bill herself. Ms. Dukes, violence breeds violence, plain and simple. I am genuinely surprised to find your name associated with this bill, and I would love to hear you defend your position on why you voted in favor of it. I'd also be curious to know if 3 years later you still support the bill. To quote Dr. Martin Luther King, hate begets hate, violence begets violence, and toughness begets a greater toughness. Now, I don't believe for a second that education is a trivial task. My grandparents were educators, and my father retired from a good career in order to teach in inner-city high schools in Texas. I get it. But I also know that legislators have done everything in their power to destroy our education system. And case in point, legislating physical abuse against children because teachers have run out of ideas tells me you need better teachers, not physically stronger ones. And in this case, I'd like to argue in favor of a better legislator too. I am genuinely appalled that in the year 2014 this is perceived as progress for education. My offer still stands from last week if you'd like to debate me on these topics and others. I'd also like to remind you that Will Haler, your party's executive director, had the following to say of Greg Abbott being unwilling to debate Wendy Davis. He said, and I quote, "Attorney General Greg Abbott is a coward. He and his team have a fundamental disrespect for Texans, and he is unwilling to have his ideas questioned by the press and everyday voters." Those are awfully strong words, and I hope that you hold that position every bit as dearly as your party does. Thank you again so much, and I truly hope to hear from you.